thank you for tuning in on this program. We're going to teach you a little bit about European history today. First, I'm going to lead you off by talking to my war correspondent Jim Worth down at the 30 Years' War.
Thanks, Anchorman. I'm out here on the field of Lutzen to correspond on the 30 Years' War, and it looks like there may be a battle forming. As you know, the 30 Years' War started in 1618 when all of the turmoil and political strife came to a boiling point, and Frederick became the ruler of Bohemia. And when Ferdinand sent some missionaries out to talk to Frederick, he threw them out the window in what became known as the Defenestration of Prague. So after the Defenestration of Prague, there's the Battle of White Mountain, in which the Catholics had a stunning victory. Soon after that came the Danish period, in which Christian of Denmark took over the Protestant forces but was easily defeated. Which brings us to my current battle, and it looks like the brilliant Protestant general Gustavus Adolphus is here with his army, and it also appears Albrecht von Wallenstein is here with his Catholic forces. And as you know, a few years back he took over for Maximilian and Tilly after Ferdinand had those generals replaced. I'm getting word that the forces are lining up and the battle may be starting, so let's have a look at that. Alright, it looks like the Protestants led by Gustavus Adolphus to my right, and the Catholics led by Albrecht von Wallenstein beginning the fight. So I think I should get out of here because I'm really getting intense. Oh my god. Oh god! They're really fighting. As you can see, the pikemen are at the front of the formation to try and stop any charges. Albrecht von Wallenstein is really showing his genius in general, as you can see, letting his field commander's command. He, as you know, had the first standing army. Oh my god, it looks like Gustavus has been wounded.
I was fighting with a sword.
Alright, it appears that the battle is finished, and I'm going to go over there and try and get an interview with the wounded Gustavus Adolphus. So Gustavus, tell me, how did you train your Protestant forces to be so good at fighting and turn the tide of this war?
Well, I do have the first standing army, and I let my commanders and officers penetrate through any weak points of the enemy forces. That's my strategy.
Brilliant strategy. So, any last words before you die?
Well, I hope that 1/3 of Germany and a half of Bohemia will not be dead by the end of this war. Oh God.
We can only hope. Back to you at the desk.
Well, I did not see that one coming. Next, I'm going to lead you up to my friend Josh with the Scientific Revolution.
Oh hey, didn't see you over there. I guess while you're here, I'm going to tell you a little information about the scientific revolution in the age of absolutism. The scientific revolution started off with a man named Copernicus in 1540. The main views on the Earth is that the Earth is the center of the universe and everything goes around it, the sun, the other planets. But Copernicus, he thought of a different thing, and he wrote a book about his own ideas, where he thought the Earth circled the sun in a perfect circle in a sphere, and he called this model heliocentric. Now, we're going to interview a man who goes against Copernicus and believes that the Earth is the center of the universe, Tycho Brahe. Now, Tycho Brahe, I see something in your hand. What is this?
Oh, this is my pet reindeer.
Oh, it's a lovely reindeer.
Why, thank you.
Now, Tycho, tell me, what do you do?
Well, I really don't like Copernicus, and for the last few years I've been gathering research to try and prove his heliocentric model wrong.
And what are your findings so far?
Well, so far they're inconclusive, and my cursed assistant Kepler keeps saying that it's only proving Copernicus correct, but I think I should just keep researching.
That you should, because Copernicus is right.
Well, I have to disagree. Now excuse me, because my bladder hurts a lot.
Nice interview.
Thank you.
Tycho Brahe had already mentioned Johann Kepler, his assistant. Johann agreed with Copernicus' views that the Earth circled the sun, and with his research, he found out that it wasn't perfect spheres the Earth circled the sun, but he found out it was more elliptical motions. Now later on, we find out about Galileo. Galileo did a lot of research on gravity, but got in some trouble with the Pope. And after that, he was condemned by the church and was put under house arrest for his accusations that he was right and that the Pope was wrong in this case. We have live footage of this Galileo trial where we will see his trial about heresy against the church.
I'm not trying to prove the inexistence of God or the unreliability of the Catholic Church. I'm just trying to prove that the Pope is not infallible.
Okay, Galileo Galilei. For this, I sentence you to a lifetime of house arrest for the heresy towards the Church. Bailiff, take him away.
Well, in 1725, we reach the end of this planet-circling sun issue with Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton took Galileo's ideas and his writings and wrote his own book called Principia Mathematica, where he wrote down the 3 laws of gravity, proving the sun circled the Earth. But not all of the scientific revolution was all about the sun and the Earth. We had other issues like William Harvey, and he found out the circulation of blood. Well, we also had some philosophers in the scientific revolution, like Francis Bacon, who was the father of empiricism, and René Descartes, who is the father of deductive reasoning. Well, that's all the time we have for now. Till next time, I'll see you later.
Hey, speaking of revolutions, I got a hell of a one for you, a glorious one, might say. When I'm talking about glorious revolutions, I'm talking about the glorious revolution, the one in England in 1688, where King James II was removed from power. I'm going to teach you a little bit about why he was removed and how the removing went about taking place. King James II wasn't very liked by the people of England. See, he was a Protestant and he had 2 Protestant daughters, but then his wife died and he married a Catholic wife, and everyone they felt uneasy about that, but they had that saving grace in knowing that he had the 2 Protestant daughters that were going to be his heirs. But then when James had a son in 1688 with his Catholic wife, that was when the people had a problem and they started a revolution.
So, am I supposed to be talking about the Glorious Revolution now?
It's alright, Josh. I'll finish this thing up. Well, see, there were 2 parts of Parliament, and the parts were the Whigs and the Tories. And the Tories had always agreed with the king, and they always felt good about what the king did, but then when James had his son, a Catholic son, they got a little bit uneasy. And it finally led to a revolution in 1688. Although it's known as the Glorious Revolution or the Bloodless Revolution, it wasn't totally bloodless, seeing as how there were 2 major conflicts and a lot of rioting in the streets. But it was glorious in that there wasn't a huge civil war like there was prior to it. Well, now the Glorious Revolution, some call it a revolution, others call it an invasion. It's widely called a revolution in England, although the Dutch sometimes see it as an invasion, because what they did was they got James II's first daughter and her